Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and in this video guys, I want to talk about Relic 8 and Relic 9. And instead of doing a ranking video talking about which ones I would do first or whatever, I want to show you guys the actual increases you get from going from Relic 7 to Relic 8 and Relic 8 to Relic 9, and show you the specific scenarios on why it's important to understand how they impact characters, and then give you just some suggestions, bare suggestions on, how to go about equipping these things in your roster. And I would say that this is especially for once you get through the requirements, right? That for somebody like myself, if you go into my roster here, and I'm just going to go to my regular characters, right? I do not have, I think I have one luxury relic, additional relic level like that, which is I took Piet to Relic 9. He's a Relic 8 requirement. Otherwise, anybody above Relic 7 is a requirement for something. So I just want to put that out here. But let's get into the video, guys. Let's talk about it down here. All right. So here are the examples, right? So the first one I want to look at is General Kenobi. He's a tank at Relic 8. Actually, let's go to Jedi Knight or Jedi Master Luke here, who's a tank. So from going from Relic 7 to Relic 8, he's going to gain 15 Mastery, which is huge. That's a 33% increase. He's going to gain 3,000 health, not as big of a deal, and 3,000 protection. Those aren't huge increases, right? That the mastery increase is huge here, but the health and protection, not big jumps. Otherwise, gaining some nice damage down here, not as much physical damage, right? But he's gaining crit avoidance, gaining some armor, and this is standard for all tanks, right? All tanks going from Relic 7 to Relic 8 will get these increases. So next I want to go to Kenobi. So he's now at Relic 9. So you see over here, like those numbers that we saw for Luke are the same that they are for Kenobi, with a few changes here and there, right? But you see the mastery now is only going up 10. But keep in mind, this is not even a 20% increase, right? Because 60 to 70, it's only a 10 change, and your base is starting at 60, so it's not as big of a change in the mastery. Where you're getting that change is right in here. Your health is going up 13,000 points, and you're not editing that out. Then your protection is going up 20,000. So from your health and protection here, guys, you are getting an additional 30,000 hit points. That is massive for tanks. That is so huge, right? And this is across the board for tanks. Any tank gets these up here. Otherwise, damage, stuff like that, you're getting some more armor. But overall, the biggest thing here is your health and protection for tanks, right? So next is Jedi Knight Luke. So mastery is the same. You see the health is still the same too, right? Those numbers don't change. What's going to change is the rest of his mastery stuff, which he's gaining a ton of physical damage, right? He's getting 600 here. Down here in the special, he's getting almost 800 damage there. Armor penetration, additional accuracy. So he's getting some really nice stuff for attackers, right? He's going to be able to hit harder. And I'll show you General Skywalker at Relic 9, where again, you see the health is jumping up, but we do add this protection layer, right? And that protection layer can make a difference at times. Again, mastery only going up 10. He's gaining some additional damage here. But you see the damage increases are not nearly as big, right? You're gaining 300 damage here in physical, compared to at Relic 8, you're gaining, over 600, right? So you're gaining double the amount from a, one way to the other. And then the last character we'll show is Padme. There's a support Relic 8 to Relic 9. So she's going to gain some more protection than an attacker. She's going to gain, some health here. But you see here, like these stats, not gaining a ton of stuff here that's important to her kit, right? She's not a damage-based character. Like, she's really only benefiting from that health and protection from relics. For dark side examples, I do want to go into a few of these. I have Lord Vader here at Relic 7. Again, you see here, like, these did not change from like what Jedi Knight Luke had, right? These are all basically the same. There's a few changes here and there, but overall, it's basically the same stuff, right? You notice that just because he's a Galactic Legend, he doesn't change what he's getting from going from Relic 7 to Relic 8. And then I'll show Boba Fett as well, who's a attacker. And you see here he's going to gain some, protection. He's going to gain some more health. And and there's the damage, right? So he's gaining some damage. It's nice damage, but again, not as massive as it is to go from Relic 7, to Relic 8, right? That those increases, yes, you're getting higher, but not getting as much bang for your buck. And then finally, Darth Malgus. Just want to show another character. Here, he's going to gain, some protection, right? Getting that health. There's that mastery increase. And then he's gaining some other things down here. Again, those jumps you're seeing aren't as big for him at Relic 7. Which kind of brings me to the point that, we're here, right? Showed you these characters. So what are you supposed to take out of this? As you saw, Relic 8, going from Relic 7 to Relic 8 seems to benefit characters with attacking statistics more, right? That was very damage based. Whereas Relic 9 seemed to be a lot more based on getting additional health and protection, particularly for tanks. So with that said, I want to go into the Galactic Legends, right? I want to do a brief piece on these guys, and then I want to show you guys examples of characters that benefit from Relic 8 and Relic 9. So, I guess we'll start with my Relic 8 list. That's what it is. And here he is, Wampa, our king. You guys knew I was going to have to talk about him. I wanted to save it for here. You guys know Wampa's going to be hitting Relic 8 live on stream when this channel hits 5,000 subscribers, guys. Let's keep on smashing that button, leaving likes, leaving comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. So, there's Wampa at Relic 5. Again, these are all characters that want Relic 8. They're characters that benefit from physical offense. The health increases aren't as important for, but they want the offense. And a character like Maul, I'll just go to his relic real quick. We want these damage increases. Additional mastery is super, super nice. Armor and resistance penetration are huge. Commander Luke Skywalker, guys, you remember the way we use him. We're always using Chupio. So he's going to take all of these stats and share them with the rest of his team. So by juicing him up, you're getting your entire team better, right? One Relic 8 boosts that entire team. So again, just something to keep in mind for these characters. I don't need to go into every single one, but Relic 8 takes all of these characters and in a lot of ways just elevates their playing field, right? That a Relic 8 Dark Trooper, is it necessary? I haven't come to a point where I've needed a Dark Trooper beyond Relic 5, but having Relic 8 would mean that I could do some things differently, right? That I might not need to be as reliant on datacrons, or that I could change a few things and punch up higher. So just keep that in mind. So here's our GL Relic 9. So now we're finally into, and I think the reason I did it this way, I do remember now. Sorry, my brain's still in a fog from the newborn. Is with Galactic Legends, like you want them all to get Relic 8. I think that's like a nice standard, is all GL should get to Relic 8. After you've gotten everything, I think after you've gotten everything else, get those GLs to Relic 8. For the Relic 9s, you guys will see that the 4 that I have identified up here are the most important. Obviously, Jedi Master Luke, he's going to gain the most from Relic 9 because he's a tank. So he's going to gain crazy amounts of protection and health, which is what his entire kit is based around. Remember that this Jedi Lessons in his kit, I talk about it all the time. Is it Jedi Lessons or Inherited Teachings right here? So they deal true damage based on 60% of his base max protection. So if he's getting an additional 30 some odd thousand protection from those relics, right, and 20 of it coming from that Relic 8, he's going to get 23,000 from Relic 7 or Relic 9, I think, right? Something crazy. So he's going to go all the way up there. You're talking, over 10,000 damage per hit higher than he is right now. That is huge, and that's before mods come into play. So just wanted to, throw that out there. Lord Vader, the reason we like, Relic 9 on him, obviously he wants health and protection because of the way his kit works. But for him, getting some of these additional offensive stats just help make some of those counters a little bit more difficult. Jabba just wants to sit there and be like thick. Like the thicker he is, the better. And with Rey, it's a similar story where Rey, she loves to have a high health pool. And if you can supplement that health pool and use like offense mods to boost her, she just becomes a much tougher Galactic Legend to kill. And so it's a situation where I think those Relic 9s are best suited on these GLs because I will say on these 4, by equipping them with that Relic 9, it's going to stop some of those counters that you'll see here. Kenobi at Relic 9 doesn't impress me, right? It doesn't stop anything that beats it, right? It doesn't at a level that he's not already at. Same thing with like Kylo and Sith Eternal. Relic 9s don't all of a sudden make them counterproof or make them, infinitely better and allow them to beat teams that they can't beat now, right? Will it help them? Yes, but will you notice it? Probably not. I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, I think with these characters, you will notice the difference between Relic 7, Relic 8, and Relic 9. With these guys, you might notice that difference from Relic 7 to Relic 8, but Relic 9, I don't know that you're going to see that effect in them like you do with these guys up here. I just want to throw it out there. You could make an argument about Kylo, but I don't really think that we're there in the game yet where you're going to notice it. And I'll say in normal play, right? In normal play, you're not going to notice it. Now, for Relic 9, we want to be down with the thickness, right? We want these guys thick. So I have General Skywalker here, which is interesting because he's not a tank. But remember, in his leadership, right, he's going to gain, where is it? Oh, no, it's his unique here. For each 501st ally, he's gaining 15% max protection. So at the start of battle, he gains 60% max protection. So if you boost his protection by even 6,000 with that additional leadership and mods and everything else, your General Skywalker is exploding with protection, right? You're basically doubling that number, giving him additional mastery, damage, all that stuff. It just really turns him into a fantastic, fantastic character. Other Relic 9s, right? Darth Malgus, we want him on that list. As a tank, he really wants that health and protection. Makes him a lot more difficult to kill, a lot more difficult to counter. Bossk is another one. He's a pilot as well. I have left off pilots on this list. At least, like, Bossk is the only one I think I included just for the sake of it. Adding relic levels to fleets is a very, very unique situation, and it's something that I think you want to fully understand what you're doing and when you're doing it, right? But from a pure character perspective, giving him additional protection and health, it just completely elevates his play and more armor. A Relic 9 Bossk is something to be, like it's rough, right? That is a bad boy to get through. Really makes a lot of the counters with bounty hunters easier when your Bossk is at Relic 9. Royal Guard's another one. With him, remember, we're using Lord Vader, so he's going to take all of his health and protection, mold it into one. So he's gaining all this protection, and it's going to be crazy. But with Royal Guard, the health is actually what you want, because at the start of the encounter, he's going to double his health. And the way it works with the Lord Vader lead is that it calculates Royal Guard's health first. So, you guys know I've covered this in modding videos. You want to just throw crazy amounts of health on him. So by taking him to Relic 9 and taking advantage of all that health just makes him so much more difficult to kill. Like, it is unbelievable. And then the last one I throw in here is Chrysanthemum. I know he's newer. Obviously, I've really taken care of mine. It's level 69. But the reason we like Chrysanthemum at Relic 9 is because of the way Jabba's kit works with that revive. You have to go through 2 Chrysanthemums, and if he's at Relic 9, he's just a thick puppy to take out. So the whole point of Relic 9, I would say, right? And I've kind of been alluding to this. You want to use it for tanks. Tanks are the ones that benefit from Relic 9 the most. Your mastery increase isn't as high. You're not gaining as much physical damage. It's a lot of health and protection. Like, even on characters like General Skywalker, who are, an attacker, right? Look, he's gaining protection. If I went to my regular roster, I will show this. Somebody like Piet here at Relic 9, look, he gained 9,000 protection. He's got additional health. And that's a support character, right? So it seems like supports get about 9,000 health from that. Tanks, on the other hand, are getting insane amounts, right? Admiral Raddus is a support character as well. Look, there's that, 9,000 protection. So what is all this alluding to? The whole concept with Relic 8s and Relic 9s is, or one of the things that I've seen misconstrued a lot is that, every character who you Relic 8 wants Relic 9. And that's not true. There are plenty of characters like these guys right here who Relic 9 isn't going to elevate their gameplay, right? It's not going to take them to a level they're not at currently if they're at Relic 8. Somebody like these characters right here, or these ones right here, Relic 8 will help them, but they really want Relic 9. And that's such a tough thing to determine, right? Because, you've got to do you could do 2 Relic 8s for the cost of a single Relic 9. where's the, yeah, like, yeah, here's a good example. General Skywalker, right? I need 20 Zimmetal cords, right? I need all this stuff. And if I go to like Darth Malgus here, I need those things yet again. So I could do 2 Relic 8s for the cost of a single Relic 9. So it comes into play of when do you do this? It's a very, to me anyway, it's a end game player's relic, I think. When you're not doing it for requirements, I think that luxury Relic 8s and Relic 9s become an end game player mentality because before then it's just so cost prohibitive. And while it's going to increase your Galactic Legends and other characters, if you're modding properly, Relic 7 will get the job done. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of heat in the comments for saying that you don't need Relic 8s. I get it every single time. But again, guys, I'm just trying to portray that I think there's a lot of bad information on these things. That the first thing you should do when you get Sith Eternal is take him to Relic 8. Like, no, stop. You're not going to be able to beat Lord Vader with that Relic 8 on Sith Eternal. Like, that's not going to help you. That Relic 8's better served on a Jedi Master Kenobi, Jabba the Hutt, Profundity Executor farm than it is on somebody like Sith Eternal. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm going to sign off. As always, guys, I love every single one of you. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.